In a couple of weeks at town meeting, we'll be facing another occasion at Concord Carlisle. You know the scenario, a couple of gunslingers on Wild West, dusty Main Street. One of them will not be standing, maybe both of them, when it's over. We have the Walden Woods conservationists on one side. We have those who want to keep school buses on the other side. We can't both prevail. If you had not perfunctorily dismissed the possibility of buses on your 95 acres, we wouldn't necessarily be facing this standoff. We might, God forbid, have resolved this collaboratively. Certainly wouldn't be any objection conservationists against the school busing. Yes, you produced a 40-page document explaining why it just wouldn't work on the 95 acres, and we posted it. And we also posted a document forcefully debunking those 40 pages. I'm more than mindful of our neighbor Phil's comments on this subject earlier in the evening, our most valued and appreciated neighbor, Phil. Among other things, Phil brought up that it might cost more to put on the 95 acres. There are other issues too, but that was a central point in his presentation. If you had not dismissed this possibility perfunctorily, the town may have laid out in front of us a fully fleshed out assessment of what those additional costs would be, and we could compare them against the savings of maintaining our buses. You've already heard this evening, it's been brought up in these comments. Those savings, and in fact, town has been doing busing for itself for about 60 years now, not quite. If we look forward 60 years, and we take instead of $250,000, the $200,000 conservative figure, that's $12 million of savings. $12 million. We could look at that saving that we get and compare it against the additional, perhaps, capital cost if we put it on the 95 acres. Of course, that hasn't happened. You may feel, as you expressed, that you're responding to the town's expressed will a year ago at town meeting to preserve buses in-house. You, in fact, have set up a shootout.
At this stage of the proceedings, the chair of the regional school committee interrupted to say he was not comfortable with the metaphor I was using. We understand his sensitivity with the news of the horrific violence we've all had to endure. At the same time, we hope his hesitation also means that some part of him was nagged by what he and his fellow school committee members have in fact done. They pretend to respond to the will of the town to keep the buses. In fact, by arbitrarily ruling out the obvious place on the 95 acres they have been given, they have left the fate of the buses to a crapshoot.